Hello everybody, how you going? I hope you're all well and happy. I am going to repot today some of my beautiful plants that I've been wanting to repot for a very long time. Not very long time, but enough. This is the lovely plants that I have got from Bunnings the other day. It's for the terrarium. So I have made one terrarium yesterday, which is absolutely gorgeous. I'll just go quickly and show you. So I'll just go and grab it. Okay guys, I've got my terrarium here. I'm just going to put this aside so I can show you. That's the other plants that I need to repot. And this is my terrarium. Just got a bit of room in here. And stand it. This is my very first one that I made. And what I've done is I made it from my plants that I have from the garden. Look at these lovely plants. I remember when I was in the Philippines, we used to have this as the I forgot what it's called, but it's you put it on your shirts, on the actual pocket for when you graduate. So this is a lovely plants that most people use. Now I have bought this candy jar a little while ago, and I was hoping to make terrarium out of it when I do have time. And as I was rummaging yesterday with my looking for some stuff, I found my ushies that's just laying around, my spare one, so I've decided to add it into my terrarium. So there's my lovely this one. I'll call this one the Disney princess, or the 7 princesses. So there's 7 princesses, and as well as the lady tramp, which is the puppy in the movie. And this is how I done my terrarium. So I'm just trying to make it like into a umbrella, so it's going down. Now these lovely plants I got from Bunnings the other day, which I totally I'm just gonna look for this is called Paradisia. Paradisia is the plants that's in the back, so I'm just gonna put that label there so we don't forget. Also I have discovered some moss while I was cutting the grass. I have some moss, a live moss right there all around the actual glass, so as you can see there's everywhere. And so this is my very first terrarium, so I hope that this will last and live longer for me. So anyway, that's my very first one, and I'm really proud of it. So I am putting this in the market. I don't know how much to sell it for, but I have to tell you, this little Oshi here, when there was promotion in Woolies, you could only have one of these if you spend $30. So it's like a bonus when you go shopping. But if you don't spend $30, you don't get any of it. But I got a bit carried away one time, and I kind of swap and sell and buy to complete a set. I have a set already with a box, so that's pretty good. I have others that hasn't got a complete set, so I've just put it in the market to see if somebody else is looking for a set, and we can swap or sell, because they do cost money. It's not nothing come for free. So I have that one available, and I have included into my terrarium just to look a bit, different. And Moana keeps coming off. I need to dig her more into the ground so she stays in my little terrarium. Come on Moana, stay there, will ya? There we go guys. So that's my very first terrarium. Okay, so, and I will get the cover, because that's the whole point, having a cover for the terrarium so it lives by itself, self-watering. There we go. Ta-da! So that's lovely terrarium. So I'm just going to put this one back into the house, and I'll show you how I make next time. So I just didn't have the chance to video yesterday how I made this one. So basically it's just a potting mix. I mixed it with my normal soil. I tried to put cocoa hash in there and then some more mixed soil, of course the live plants. So I won't put any more than that because otherwise it'd be too crowded. So okay, so we'll just put that one back and let's go for our repotting. Okay, here I am back again. So let's figure out which one we're going to repot today. I have made another sphagnum moss ball and cocoa hash inside, as well as the sphagnum moss on the top, and that is ready to go. So I was thinking of using on this one is called a heart leaf philodendron. So I've got two of them, and here is my other one. So I was gonna have it climbing up there. Now what I need to do is I was gonna use a little bit bigger pot, so I don't have to repot, but this is gonna be okay, I think, this size pot. So let's just get that one going and put some. Now I'm just gonna make my, see how there's cocoa peat, a lot of cocoa peat in this particular pot. So I'm just gonna put my gloves on and mix my soil. Okay, so I already have some mixture in here, so I just need to add more. So let's just pop that away somewhere and let's check our mixture in here. So I think this is what I'm going to do from now on. When I buy plants, I literally have to just mimic what they're growing at, so I don't kill the plants. So basically, as I can see, there's a lot of cocoa peat on this one. So there's abundance of it, and the roots are, well, kind of quite skinny, small roots. Interesting. It's like a fern-like roots. So that's one pot. And here's an, I'll just show you closer. It's flattened up. I mean, it doesn't need repotting yet, but because I'm transferring to a bigger pot, that's what I'm doing. So let's just grab the other one as well. Try not to disturb them too much. Just squeeze the pot to loosen it up. There we go, perfect. So there's another one, and this is the philodendron heart leaf. There we go. So that's my other pot. Now I've already got all this mixture here, and because that is growing in a lot of cocoa peat, so I am going to have more cocoa peat mixed into my soil. So it will be a lot more cocoa peat than a normal soil, but I'm going to put a soil in my mix, a little bit of soil, because it's still a good mix. I had this one mixed with my other philodendron, so it's not going to hurt the plants. Okay, so that's perfect. Now we fill this up with a new mixed soil. I'm just thinking that I should use this big one, but there won't be much space anymore. That's the problem. Oh, we'll need a bigger pot. I'm going to do that. So let me just go and grab a bigger pot for this particular plants. I might grab this pot and repot this particular plant. This is a begonia because it can grow in a smaller pot. So it needs to be, I need to put this in sphagnum moss to grow a bit better. Doesn't really like it here, so that's fine. And this is just succulent, so that can go somewhere else. And this is another one. So I'm just going to remove them and transfer them to a different pot. They're not really happy in this pot anyway, so I like this pot, and I think this is a better size pot. And I've got all my crazy stuff underneath, which I'm not going to bother anymore because my mix is so much better now, which is at the beginning where I didn't know much. I still don't know much, but I put this foam underneath so it doesn't, the soil or the water doesn't get stagnant. But with the proper mix now, we don't need to worry about that. So let's just put that aside and mix more, because I'm going to need more soil for this pot. So there we go. There's a lot more cocoa pet in there than the normal potting mix. So there's that one. So let's just put this one aside so I have room. Now, with my other plants, I didn't actually put the so what I need to do is put this side by side. Try not to break it. Right there. And it's going to go like that. I might have it a little bit in the front. And then my other one, okay, I'm just going to do it this way so you can see. So I'll make your side the front. I could have another one climbing at the back. I could put a different plants in there. I was thinking, now let's just leave it as that. It's just a shame there's one space at the back and there's nothing going. Oh, I know what I'm doing. That will overtake pretty much everything. So, oh, I know. This one here, I'm struggling to get this one growing. So it's not doing so good. So I'm going to put this in the back. I think that's what I'm going to do. Something different. Alright, so because that's not much, they're golden, neon pothos. I'm just going to put it at the back because it does need somewhere to climb, and it's only small, so if it does get too big I can always repot it, take it out. It's just that there's space in here and it looks nicer when the pot is full. Yeah, I had it planted into another pot earlier, but it was not happy. So now I'll just pot it with my heart leaf philodendron. So let's fill it up with soil and have my beautiful plants facing me, both of them. So it's going to be like that, and try not to bend any of the leaves. So what do you think, guys, so far? I didn't disturb much of the soil, so where I had it planted, so I'll just squish that in there. Obviously this particular plants love moist, that's why it's planted in cocoa hash, cocoa pet moss, whatever you call that. And I am just doing exactly the same, except mine's got a little bit of soil, orchid mix, perlite, garden bark, just slightly more mix than this actual plant where it comes from. And I wouldn't need to repot this one for a long time because it is already, it's in the big pot. Okay, so that's that. Just gonna squish it in there so the moss, sphagnum moss pole stays up. And my neon pothos is going to be okay. So I'm just going to go and grab a yarn to wrap my plants around it so it's secure. So I'll be right back in a few moments. Okay guys, I'm back. Wasn't very long for you, but it went for a little while. No, just kidding. Okay, so I've got my handy yarn, just 100% acrylic yarn. I just whatever use to tie it, similar color to the actual pole. So I'm just gonna lay the golden, the neon pothos on the bottom. Hopefully this one will thrive better here than what I had earlier. This was the moss ball that comes when I buy it, and it's really hard. Well, it's not moss ball, it's cocoa hash. So I'm just going to tie at the back. I know you can't see it. Just tying it off. And this way you guys can see a little bit better than I had previously been videoing, because I had it on the top. It's hard to do by yourself, so do what your best you can do. Yesterday I did a lot of a little bit of cutting the grass. I cut the lawn. Oh yeah, the other thing I was going to tell you is that if you wrap this once and then twice and then 3 times, it secures the tightness in the actual first tying, so you don't need to put your fingers in there. Okay, so that's one done. Just gonna cut some more yarn, save me redoing it, so I might just not cut so much so I won't waste too much of the yarn. Okay, so that's done. Now we're just gonna balance this up a little bit. And then let's try to direct this to the top rather than going to the bottom. So might tie this one here first on the very top. Got my next door neighbour attending to their lawn. You can hear them in the background. There we go, that's one done. I'll try to tie it where the node is. Although this particular plant doesn't have a lot of nodes, I mean the nodes, the aerial, it doesn't really have that big aerial roots, but it still likes to climb, so try not to do it too tight that I'm hurting the plants. Try to tuck in. Okay, and then we're just gonna do the base. Right here. Now, looking good already. It's not even finished yet. Okay, that's one climber heart leaf done. So number two, let's grab some more yarn. Now we're just going to make some more sphagnum moss pole, because I have another plant that I want to do. I do need to buy some more sphagnum moss because I have almost running out now, and I am going to repot my golden marble pothos into a better pole like this one, because I have them planted but it's just temporarily into it, and I'd like it to be in a better moss pole. There you go, guys. This one is trying to grow on the bottom going down, so if I tie it over here I will train it to go up the top, but I think I might do this here first. Okay, try not to hurt my plants by breaking the leaves. Something really works in. Okay, that's it. Just gonna tuck in the excess yarn instead of cutting it, so it's not too short and then it'll just break on me. Okay, this is obviously trying to grow downward because it was not on a climber, so I'm going to train it to go up. So let me see how many I can repot today. I wish I could make more sphagnum moss faster, but it's hard to do it because it takes a little while to do the sphagnum moss. Of course, I can only do it when I'm sitting down because I have a lot of other things to do. Okay, so Now let's just do this on the bottom. That's one done. That's two. Now we're just going to train these two to go up by tying their stem up the top, because it's growing downward and we don't want that. We want them to climb up. So come this way, my babies. My pole is not going straight because I keep pulling it away. That's alright, I'll get it straightened up in a moment. Now that should be growing upward, not downward. Okay, let's see, how's my sphagnum moss pole going? Nicely straight or not? So how is that, guys? What do you think? Pretty cool? I think it's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool for me, huh? Okay, so I'm just gonna tidy up a little bit here. There you go. One sphagnum moss heart leaf philodendron plant is done, and at the back it's my golden or neon pothos. It's alright, it doesn't matter as long as it's growing nicely. And my homemade insert on climbing and my homemade sphagnum moss. So I'm just gonna grab a spray and I'll just spray it. Okay, I've just got some water from my fish tank, and there's 1 liter Aprox Mylix spray bottle. So instead of watering my plants dramatically in here on the bottom, because it takes forever to dry, and I think that's why some of my plants are dying, because I'm over watering it, I'm just going to spray the node in here to encourage the plants to grow nodes, at the same time keeping the moss pole moist, and just dropping excess water into the roots without overwatering it. And my plant seems to be working okay with this idea. I'm just gonna point you over here so you can grow this side. There you go. So the sphagnum moss is really good. It holds the water well, and in that way you're not overwatering your plants either. Now if you don't have sphagnum moss, just use cocoa hash. It will do the trick, like this. So now this is just temporary, of course, but you could make this, you can even insert some soil in between, so in that way they have some nutrients. The roots can dig down and have some nutrients, and that's what I did with my other moss pole. I actually crocheted the actual pole, but it's just taken me too long, so I decided to glue them instead. And because I have the yarn around, wrapping it around, it keeps the moss pole together anyway. So the glue is just to keep it together, but I don't really need to use that much glue. But I just did it just for the sake of it and making sure that it's, you know, safe. So here we go. I'm just gonna water the leaves a little bit. I might just wipe it off as well so it's not too wet. because it's still a little bit cold in here and you might not like it. So now the soil is still quite wet, so I'm not going to water too much. Probably do a little bit because I just repotted. But that's about it. I won't be watering too much. I don't want to kill it with overwatering. Okay, that will do. Now I'm just going to wipe off the leaves a little bit just to dry it, so it's not too wet. Just got to be careful I'm not breaking the leaves. And I will put it in the sun a little bit, not too much sun, because it's a climber, and of course every plant needs sun, but you don't put this one out in the direct sunlight, so shade is good so you don't kill it. A bit disappointed with my snow queen pothos because it got left outside accidentally and the leaves are burnt, so I'm not happy with that. But I have another plant that I can repot, so I might have to cut them up and regrow them so I get new leaves. Okay, there we go. My heartleaf philodendron, it is done. So ta-da! So that is my sphagnum moss heartleaf philodendron. Guys, now guys, I've just taken some of my tomatoes off the pot that was just growing in there, so I will repot this one into a planter and let it have its own growth. So this is tomato plant. It's actually the cherry tomato. It's really yummy. So I'm just going to put that into a pot. Okay, let's find a nice little pot. Actually, this one will do. I've got to do it now before I forget, and then I won't do it, and then it will die anyway. So while I'm at it, I might as well do it. Okay, so tomato pots will just leave on anything because it's not, you know, it survives in whatever soil that you put, like the garden. So I'm just going to use my potting mix soil, my leftover potting mix. I'll just mix it a little bit more. Give me some room. Is fine. Now, actually I'm going to use this one for my, I actually got a climbing, whatchamacallit, but I'm going to need a really long stick for these particular plants. It's passion fruit. There you go, guys. So let me repot my passion fruit and grow it. Look at that. It really needs repotting. So let's just disturb that for a little bit, and I'm gonna need a bigger climber than that. So let me see if I can find a long one. Just bear with me, I will be back. Okay, I found a decent size stake. This one here, which of course I can change later when this is a little bit taller. I also just added some, this is for citrus or fruit mixed. There we go. So I'm just going to put that around my plants and have that one a little bit, you know, down, and put some in. Okay, so there's my passion fruit. So I'm just gonna stick this here. There we go, and it is already on a smaller stake, but I'm going to remove that because this one doesn't need to have a moss pole or anything that's something like that, because they don't have roots in their growth. But I might just give it a bit of a cushioning around the area where I'm going to tie it. Like so. I'm going to show you guys what you see what I'm doing. And where is my yarn? I have lost it. Here we go. Okay, there's one. Except my stake is not staying in place. And the same thing with this one. Gonna give it a bit of a cushioning. Now I have the Zanzibar that I'm going to repot next. It's called the ZZ or Zanzibar, but I have the Jungle Warrior, which is the darkish green with almost sort of, I don't know, burgundy maybe color after this. So, or I haven't even finished my other plants. Crazy. Okay, so this little vine, actually the one that's going to hold the this here is the one that's going to hold the climber, but I'm helping it by tying it, so it should be fine. Okay, so plant number 3 is done. Repotting my passion fruit today. There we go. So just coil that in. That looks nice. There you go, you can climb there. Ta-da! Okay, see, done. Oops. Now I can pop it in somewhere safe. I'm running out of room. Okay, just for now, that can stay there. Now let's do my tomato plant that I was going to do. A decent sized pot. Not too big, not too small. I have to also redo this, do this one as well. But I need to make the climber for that. And yes, and I have these plants as well that's struggling. Actually, I might do it in here. But that can be my tomato plant. Just going to get rid of the label because that's not the right plant. Can't do it, so let's just do that later because it's driving me bongos. Alright, now alright, let's do the tomato plants on this one because this will grow really big. I had no intention of planting tomato, but now that I have it, I might as well. So let's just place that in there so my plant can climb up, or not climb, but brace itself there. So let me show you how I do it. Of course you all know, but just for the video so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'll place it in this side like so, and I have a baby one at this section. Okay, so now let's just place a bit of soil to keep it in place. There we go, nicely tucked in. Maybe move that one a little bit further. We don't want it too close to the body. Oh dear, I think I just snapped it. Shit. Oh dear. Oh well. So much for that, huh? So much for rescuing. Instead I killed it. But I'm not going to take it out just in case it'll still live. Okay, so there's my tomato plant planted. Just gonna tie the top. Just gonna brace it for now. I'll probably have to replace it with a longer stake later on because this plant will grow taller and much bigger. Amazing the smell of the plants. Different plants got this different smell. It's good smell, not bad smell. Oh, sorry plants, I snapped you. Okay, that's done. Just leave that in here for the next plant to grow. Okay, my tomato plant is planted in its pot. Beautiful. Okay, next I am going to do, gotta rescue these now because it's straggling. You don't want to know what that is. Then I'll just get another pot. Okay, so I wanted to keep all the pots nice and sort of the same. I want to use this one for something else. Now, okay, let's just use one of this pot here. This one will do. It's a bit small. It's okay. This one is struggling so badly. Oh, it's only because I took it off the pot and I haven't had a chance to repot it. So I'm just going to trim the excess roots that's been out in the open and sort of dried. And just pop it in there. Hopefully it will live for me, not die. Now this one is purely for decoration. I do not have these plants for anything else, like some people would do. There we go. One plant done. I'll put this passion fruit label in here so we know what it is. Okay. Alright, it's done. I've just got to find a spot for them. Now what I need to do is not this one yet, because I need to make this moss ball for that, but what I want to do is repot my Zanzibar. There's two, and my other plants are dying. This one here, we have two pots. Okay, there's my two Zanzibar. Beautiful, beautiful plants. There's one, and here's another. So let's check out what. I'll try to plant the leaves like they show on stuff, but it's not the same. It didn't actually grow, it just died on me. So don't know. So anyway, this is not a cheap plant, it's actually quite expensive plants. So I'm hoping I do not kill it. I want to see. There's actually a little bit of nodes. It's like a potato inside. See? You can see? So I want to see how many I can divide this plant to. Now there's a lot of cocoa moss or pet moss, so that's what I will be doing my soil mix. Now let's see, let's see how many I can divide it so I have more growth. nicely. Beautiful. Wow, look at all the roots. Isn't that amazing? Now this one obviously has a few which I should be able to divide. I don't want to kill it, that's all. So that's one. This one has 2 nodes, so I reckon I could make this one into 2. Yep, there it is. Come on, come out without breaking, please. There we go, beautiful. I got one, but there's no shoot yet. Oh, there's one coming along there. So this is per fruit like, because how can you take one out without hurting the other? I mean, that's, I could take that one off. Then that means I have to cut it off the main trunk, and if I do that, what if I cut this in half, would it damage it? Let's not go a bit crazy there and do that, because I really don't want to kill that plant. Okay, so that's one pot. I divided into 3 because as you can see, that's how much it's worth. $70 for just that. So it's not cheap plants. Let's see if this one actually works. It's still alive. Interesting. I tried to propagate it by cutting some leaves, and the leaves still alive, so, but it didn't really give me any roots, so let's see how many I can divide this one to. I've been meaning to do this for ages. Oh, look at the roots. It's definitely need repotting. How's that? Wow, it's lots in there. So let's see how many I can divide this baby into. Hoping more than 3. Let's try not to break any roots, but they're pretty compact. There's a lot of roots there. Where's my little knife? Just to get rid of the soil without poking it inside. So I can see where I can divide it. I like the sound of that one, the cracking noise. Okay, let's see if I just don't break on me, please. Oh, I've just broke some of the roots. Very bad, very bad. But I can't divide it unless I break a few, don't I? So unfortunately something has to give. Okay, come on. It's a bit stressful. almost there. There's 3 in this one. I'd like to divide it more, but don't be too greedy and break them and not actually live. There we go. 1 with humongous roots. I haven't broken any yet, so that's good. So this, guys, is a Zanzibar jungle warrior. See how beautiful the leaves is? Nice and shiny. Yes, time to repot because this one is definitely way too big for the pots. I'm going to put it back in exactly the same size pot, but at least not 3 in 1. It'll be just 1. And it gives room for it to grow more and divide, multiply, so I can divide again. Come on. I don't want to break you, so come out nicely for me, please. Okay, that should be okay now. There we go, we got it. Beautiful. Wow, look at how much roots that is. That's amazing. Well, I've got 1 shoot coming up. So that's 1. That's 2. I could divide this one into 2, but I'm not gain enough because they're both attached to one of these. So let's just leave that the way it is. Did I have 3 of that? Yes, I did. There we go. Thought it was going crazy. They're very easy to break too, so I better be very careful. So that's 6. And divided into 3. This one doesn't have any growth yet, but if I plant it like that and let these 2 little ones come up, it'll be fine. So now is the mix of the soil. And this particular plant was planted on a soil that's got so much cocoa peat or peat moss. So I'm just going to use the same, my old soil mixed. Just add a lot of cocoa or a lot of peat moss. Now, if you don't have peat moss in your house, use a very fine coconut fiber, because that's pretty much what it is to retain the soil. So let's so this is what I have. Peat moss, good for aerating the soil and retain the moisture in the soil. So obviously this plant doesn't like to be dry, so let's just do that. I'm going to mix all my soil that I have in here because I'm going to need more than 1 or 2 pots. So let's mix all that. I still got soil, my mix still has some soil, but a lot of cocoa or pittance. I am getting a little bit better with my mix. I said I'm new with planting, but so far the plant seems to be alive. Some have not survived through the winter month, but it's spring now, so it's time to repot into a better soil mixed. Okay, there is our soil mix. Much better. Okay, let's plant number 1. There maybe not too much soil to begin with. And let's spread that around. There's too much in there, but that's okay. Let's just leave the, let's put it up a bit so you can see. Okay. I think I need a bigger pot. But you know what? It was in this pot with the other pot, the others, so I'll just put it back. But just one plant, not three. There we go. How's that? Let the node come out a bit, maybe. Goes one planted. It's sticking up a bit too much. I don't know. Let's cover it. Okay, one done. Ta-da! Okay. Let's pop this one in here. Grab my stuff. Rid of that thing, and then put my plants in there. It's not really straight, is it? There one. Okay, another one. Now this one is the one without the actual in it, but still it has a node that's growing. Right there. Let that one grow. Oops, a daisy. The node should be out, but okay. This one. I think I might replant the other one. I just don't like the way it's standing. Didn't mix that one nicely, did I? Oops, don't want to kill that. There's one. Just put this away for now so I can have more room. So there's number 3, guys. the other one, so I'm going to repot this one. I didn't like the way I was potting it. Do it this way so I'm not pushing the roots. Okay, much better. Okay, pot number 3 is done. Now the next pot. Oh, everything's falling apart here. One's next. Put a little stake on this one. Because it is broken or just too heavy. So let me grab some yarn to hold it. Try not to break it further. Okay, I'm just tying the piece of yarn. It's just to help the plant stay up, because I think since I've taken it out of the main pot, I have to make sure that there's soil down there. Yeah. There we go, number 4 guys, done. And the young shoot's about to come out, so I can't wait for that to grow. Now number 4, number 5 is coming up. store the pot for the other one. I might have to remove the other one, or I might need a bigger pot for this one, because that's humongous. Okay. Now this has a lot of roots. Number 5 is done. You guys, beautiful. That's done. Now I just need to find another good size pot, because I have borrowed the other one, but I need a bigger pot for that one. So just be with me and we'll find another pot. A bigger pot. Okay guys, I found some pots. That's decent size. There we go, much bigger. I think maybe I'll use this one. Same shape, and then this will be the last repotting for this time, because I've got to go and pick up my daughter from work. So I shall come back once I'm done and redo some more repotting. I do have a few things that I need to rescue since I moved some of my plants outside. Still a little bit too hot for them, that they're somehow not happy. So okay, and this pot's still a little bit small, I think. Maybe I should get a bigger one. This one's longer. Yep, much better. Otherwise, there's not enough room to grow for the roots. I'll just make sure that there's soil underneath. Not so. It's a bit roughing there, isn't it? I think that's okay. There we go. All my 6 Zanzibar has been planted. So there's one. That's 2. Show you there. That's 3. 4. 5. And then 6, which is the one that doesn't have a node. I mean, growth yet, but that's okay. So there you go, 6 out of 2 pots. I think that's pretty good. Alright, it's time to go and have a break. Thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoy my repotting, and cut something out of it and you can use for your own. So basically this type of plants, it needs a lot of cocoa pet or pet moss. So if you don't have cocoa pet moss, try to get cocoa fiber and mix it with your soil. My one is pretty mixed because I had my old soil, I just use it. So you know, I don't think there is a definite for every plant that needs to be done, just as long as you try to redo what nature, where they grow. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm just following also what pot that I plant soil mix that I bought the plants from. So if they're growing really nicely, that means they will grow nicely if I just mimic or follow the soil content. So I'm just going to put a little bit of water, not much, because the soil is already quite moist. I don't want to put too much water. There we go, done. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy my repotting. I shall see you in the next upload that I will do. Like I said, I've had a pleasure in doing the videoing. So there's that. I did my tomato plants, passion fruit plant. There we go, which I will need to, when I come back, find a spot for them to go, because at the moment I am running out of spot. Lol. And the tomato plant, and plus my heart leaf philodendron. So 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, there's 10. I did 10 repots. Alright, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on the next time. Bye.